Okay, it's running. This is a presentation on the sacroiliac joint, the SI. First, you must identify that it is a sacroiliac joint. If you notice the hips, you want to point to those, Katie? These are hips, and see how one's higher than the other? And turn around, I'll show you where the SI is. The SI is right here, and this is a good diagnosis by telling where the pain is. The pain's on one side or the other of the back, and there's no radiating pain down the leg. Good chances there's an SI problem. So you flip them around, and we'll show you on the table how to do it, but you notice one hip, this is the ASIS, one hip is higher than the other. So we're going to put her on the table, and we're going to show you how to put the SI back in. Hop up, let me adjust the camera. The other way. Okay, first thing we do is we unload the SI, bend your knees, hips up, hips down, pull the legs out, and at this point I'll check the leg length on the sole of the feet. Now we go to the SI itself, excuse me, the ASIS. You hook your thumbs up underneath the hip bones. You look straight down on top of it, and her left is posteriorly rotated, her right is anteriorly rotated. Now we're going to use muscle energy to get the SI back into place. And just remember, the thumb that's up, that's the leg that goes down. The thumb that's up, the leg goes down. Slide her off here to the side, and there's a bunch of different ways of doing it. Some people will stick their shoulder underneath the one side, probably not in the camera. Stick your shoulder underneath the side that's up and hold down the other side at the same time. Doing SIs on big people, they would cut me in half. So now I use their own arms. See how she locks her fingers in to get a good hold of the leg. And I try to make it simple. 3-second hold, 3-second relax. 3-second hold, 3-second relax. 3 times. So I hold this leg down and she pulls down. It's a scissoring motion. So we're using the muscle energy to pop the hip back into place. Then relax and go. And she's actually out, so it's kind of nice to have somebody that's out. Relax and go. And at the end we'll relax. Okay, now the hips are probably more than likely rotated some. Sometimes we have to do it more than once. And now we fire the external rotators to cinch the SI into place, and she spreads her knees. Now if you get somebody big and they're strong in their external rotators, you need to use some kind of strap, belt, something that holds it together so you don't bruise your ribs. Spread them. Do 3 seconds out, 3 seconds relax, 3 seconds out, 3 seconds relax. Okay, now because the hips have been out, a piece of cartilage in the pubic area, because the hips are out, that's where the iliums come together. The ilii come together between your legs. And because it's been out, we'll fire the adductors, which is attached to the pubic symphysis, and more than likely it'll pop that cartilage back into place. So we spread our knees a little bit. If you don't have soccer balls, better, but you can just squeeze the elbow. Squeeze. Squeeze for 3 seconds. Then relax for 3. Squeeze for 3. And relax for 3. And squeeze for 3. And relax for 3. Okay? Now we slide her back over toward the middle of the table. Once again, we do the hips up. Hips down. Okay, put your feet out. Okay. Now we've adjusted it back into place. Now we have to see if it's back in place. Stand up, straight down on the ASIS, lift your thumbs, and the thumbs have to be hooked up underneath the ASIS. And it should be straight across from each other. At this point, we want to the SI in the back. And by doing that, it cuts down the irritation to the connective tissue. The secret to SI moves is once you know it's out, to get it back in as quick as possible. It's like any other dislocation, finger, shoulder, whatever is dislocated, the faster you get it in, the less damage to connective tissue. So we're going to show you a way of getting it in at home with the couch or some kind of chair that you can, or even your bed. If you put, go the right way, this goes over to the top of the couch, this goes underneath the couch, and you squeeze just as we were squeezing there, 3 times 3 seconds, and you bend the knees, and take a belt, put it around the thighs, 3 times 3 seconds there, and then take a soccer ball or any kind of ball, put it between your knees, and squeeze that 3 times 3 seconds. And this is the way you can self-mob yourself at home. Now, how do you keep the SI in place? Well, the best way is to not have any kids, because that has a tendency to stretch out the connective tissue around your SI joint. And the problem with having kids is these girls or women try to come back from the babies too fast and exercise too fast, too early, and not allow the ligaments and the tendons in the SI area to go back to where they were. But if you do have an SI that's a little hypermobile, you need to cinch it in with the external rotators of the hip. And one way of doing that is with clamshells. I'm going to show you a couple of, this is TheraBand, goes around the thighs, and you open the thighs to about 30 degrees. And do that about 30 times, just in and out. Okay, and then we go on your side and work the individual external rotators of the hip. Bring the hips forward, and then we roll, raise the thigh, we roll it around the heel. Same thing, 30 times. Then we flip all the way to the other side and make sure that the hips are perpendicular to the table or wherever you're sitting or laying. And then the opposite side. Get about 30 degrees of motion, 30 times. I'm getting stuck on the 3s. Another good way of doing it, flip on your back, a thing called bridges, where we bridge up, tighten up the glutes, tighten up the abdominals, and this will also help the SI. You can do this also with a Swiss ball. The secret is to, once you get it in, is to keep it in. And we talked about, there's a belt you can get, the Saunders SI belt for everyday use. There's another belt you can get, the Sereno, for athletic use. And these help cinch in the SI for you and keep it in place. The secret is, once you get it in place, build the muscle structure up around it to keep it in place. Thank you.